A struggling waiter saves a woman's life, misses his interview, unaware she's a billionaire CEO. The scent of fresh coffee and buttered toast filled the tiny diner, mingling with the sound of clinking dishes and the occasional shout from the kitchen. Ethan Carter, a 26-year-old waiter with tired eyes and a relentless drive, maneuvered between tables with practiced ease. Every step he took felt heavier than the last. Today was supposed to be his big break, his one chance to escape this life of double shifts and overdue bills. His heart pounded as he glanced at the clock. 11:45 a.m. If he left now, he could still make it to his job interview at the prestigious Whitmore Tech, where an entry-level marketing position promised a future he'd been chasing for years. Just as he turned toward the kitchen to grab his coat, the chime above the diner door rang. A woman stumbled in, drenched, trembling, her breath short and ragged. Ethan saw it immediately. Something was wrong. The woman, probably in her 40s, dressed in an expensive yet rain-soaked blazer, gripped the edge of a table for support. Her face was pale, her body unsteady. Before he could think, Ethan was at her side. "Ma'am, are you okay?" She gasped, trying to speak, but all that came out was a strangled wheeze. Her hand clutched at her throat. Panic flickered in her wide eyes. A choking victim. Instinct overrode hesitation. Ethan dropped to his knees behind her, wrapped his arms around her midsection, and thrust upward in a perfect Heimlich maneuver. Once. Twice. On the third attempt, a small piece of food dislodged from her throat, clattering onto the floor. The woman coughed violently, sucking in air. Ethan held onto her shoulders until he was sure she could stand. "Are you all right?" His voice was steady, but his hands shook. Tears pooled in her eyes as she nodded. "I think so." She took deep, shaky breaths. "Thank you. You saved my life." Relief washed over him, but then reality hit. The clock. 12:03 p.m. His interview. He had missed it. The dream he'd spent years chasing, gone. His stomach twisted, but he forced a smile. That's what anyone would have done. She looked at him, really looked at him, as if memorizing every detail of his face. Not everyone would have. Ethan shook his head, laughing hollowly. "Maybe. But still, it cost me my shot at a better future." She frowned. "What do you mean?" He exhaled sharply, rubbing his hands over his face. What did it matter now? I had a job interview at Whitmore Tech. An opportunity to finally get out of this diner. It was at noon. Her lips parted slightly. There was an odd shift in her expression, something unreadable in her gaze. "Whitmore Tech," she repeated, her voice quiet. Ethan nodded. "Yeah. But it's too late now." He forced another smile, one that didn't reach his eyes. "I guess some things just aren't meant to be." A long silence stretched between them. Then, the woman extended her hand. "I'm Eleanor Whitmore." Ethan blinked. The name hit him like a freight train. Eleanor Whitmore. The billionaire CEO. The founder of Whitmore Tech. The very company where he had just missed his interview. His breath caught. You're her." A slow, knowing smile spread across her face. "Yes. And I think you were meant to be exactly where you were today." Ethan's mind raced. Was this really happening? She studied him for a moment. "Ethan, I built my company on talent, hard work, and, above all, integrity. Today, you proved you have all three. You put a stranger's life before your own ambitions. That tells me more about you than any resume ever could." His pulse pounded in his ears. "Are you saying?" Eleanor's smile widened. "How about we reschedule that interview?" "No, better yet, how about I offer you the job right now?" Ethan's breath hitched. "You're serious?" She nodded. 100%. A lump formed in his throat. The years of struggle, the sacrifices, the moments of doubt, and now, in a single, unbelievable twist of fate, everything had changed. Ethan grinned through the tears threatening to spill. Maybe, just maybe, some things were meant to be after all. The lesson. Kindness is never wasted. Sometimes, the very moment we think we've lost everything is the moment life surprises us in the best possible way.